Hey, Sam. How's it going? Welcome to the Mbariket Show.
Hey, it's nice to be here and to be able to talk about the series with you.
All right, awesome. So before we get started a little bit, you want to go ahead and give us a little bit of information about your professional background?
Sure. Well, I've been in school for about 7 years. I just graduated in May. I went to undergrad at California Institute of the Arts, and then I continued my education and got my grad degree there as well in film directing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually on your website right now, just, kind of looking through your program and, checking out some of the media that you have on there. And I have so many questions that I want to ask you just based on my observation of your production process. But before we go into that, you want to talk a little bit more about this project and how it came about?
Yeah, basically it started almost 2.5 years ago. I had to make a thesis in order to graduate with my master's degree, and I was trying to think of something that was interesting and that would catch the attention of people, but also sort of ring true. And I thought the juxtaposition of a breakup and like this beautiful setting of a vacation would be rather amusing. And so I tried to explore that further with the story of Fans of Mexico.
Okay, so what is the story about?
It's basically a coming of age story. It centers around Daniel, who's just graduated from college, and he goes to Mexico with his girlfriend and another couple who are good friends of his. And he's the villa that they stay at is actually a family villa, and he hasn't been there since his mom has passed. So the villa has a lot of meaning to him, and he's sort of at a point in his life where he's deciding, do I propose to this girl or do I break up with her? Because there's a point in your life where you're like, is this the path I want to go on? Do I want to have kids with this woman and all that kind of stuff? And he's sort of at a point where he's looking for himself, and the backdrop is Mexico. And we sort of continue with him, with his family members coming in. Sebastian, his cousin, comes to visit, and just a couple different characters coming out of his life, through his the villa.
Okay, so the web series, from what I read, you said it continues. It picks up where the movie ends, because originally this was a movie, right? This was a half-hour movie, right?
The thesis that I did for college was the first 2 episodes, and then I sort of couldn't let the characters go, and I felt there were so many different places that we hadn't explored and things that we hadn't even done in Mexico that we could just go further with it. So then I later and shot the last 4 episodes.
So the casting, did you cast here in the U.S. and did you fly your cast to Mexico, or how did that all go about? So about logistics and getting all these cast members together where you shot, because you shot in Mexico, so you're not passing an LA location for Mexico, right?
No.
Where did you shoot?
Definitely, we shot in Manzanillo, Mexico, which is about 2 hours south of Puerto Vallarta. And it's a really, gorgeous location. And the actors were all from CalArts, where I went to school.
Okay.
Some of them were current students. Some of them were alumni. And I had, auditions, of course. And, just basically, I had been, going to the school for a long time. So I'd sort of seen productions and seen people and sort of had ideas of people I wanted. And, once I got a cast, actually, 2 of them had to drop out about a week before because they were afraid of the swine flu. So, things kind of...
They were afraid of what?
The swine flu.
They were afraid of... Okay, they were very fine. Okay. So you casted this film or this project was cast in the U.S., and you have a total of what, 5? And I want to talk a little bit about the characters as well. Okay, but before I get to that, I still want to know how you were able to arrange everyone to go to Mexico for filming.
Well, basically, the biggest expense was the travel arrangements. Basically, that was my big expense. And the reason I decided to sort of take people to Mexico was because I looked around LA, I looked around where I live, and everything has a price tag to it, and it's very expensive.
Yep.
And it was so much easier to just take people to Mexico and have that sort of beautiful place for people to want to go in the first place.
Yep.
And then you get to shoot there, and it was a lot less expensive. So who wrote this? Who wrote this project? I did. I wrote it, directed it, produced it, raised the money, and edited the project.
Who shot it?
I had 2 directors of photography. For the first 2 episodes, Connor Tien was the director of photography, and then he was busy when we shot the last 4 episodes. So Yoka Okamura came in, and she did the director of photography for the last 4.
Yeah. I like the cinematography on this show, and later on down the line, I'm going to ask you some more questions on that cinematography. But I want to go back. I want to go back again to filming in Mexico. I'm originally from Nigeria, and just over there, you were able to shoot literally for dirt cheap. I mean, we don't have any. You have to go through the, getting permits, all that, getting releases, all that crazy stuff. You can just go get your shots and leave. Explain a little bit about the production process in Mexico, filming in Mexico.
We had a small crew. We only had about 4 or 5 crew members, and then 3 to 4 actors at a time. And that was one of the ways that we, were able to get away with sort of shooting in a lot of different locations quickly and cheaply. And then what we did was we had these great cameras that were very small. They didn't, they weren't very, bulky or conspicuous, and they just looked like travel touristy sort of cameras.
Yeah.
We had 7 Canon 7D for the last 4 episodes, and then we had an HP30 for the first 2.
Yeah.
And then we had, lavs on them. We had rented sound equipment, and so we, we just sort of made it really natural, sort of documentary style in order to, because a lot of the locations, none of them had ever been to the cast crew till the day we shot.
So you must have scouted this location in advance, right?
Yeah.
You just didn't you didn't read up on the internet and went. You went physically to scout this location, right?
No. I spent 2 weeks in Mexico with my assistant director, going through the locations, figuring out how long it would take. Like the ATV riding, it was not only part of the scene, but it was a way to get around to the next location.
Right.
So we had to figure out how long that takes, and trying to budget our time and our money in Mexico. But it was so easy in Mexico. Like you said, the permits, there's everything like that. It was also off season. We shot in May of 2009, and then for 1 week, and then May of 2010 for another week. That's off season for Mexico, so it's a little hotter, but there's not a lot of people. And during the week, there's no tourism in that area that much. So there's a lot of just free space and free beauty all around.
So so I'm on your website right now, and I tried to click on that link to go watch the web series, but it's broken. It's a broken link, so you may want to look into that and get that fixed. Because right now, it just takes you to an error page.
I got it on mine. I'll have to look into that. It's you can also go to my YouTube page, YouTube Facebook.com/surreal. It's SURREELPRO. But it should be. It's working on my page. On my.
It's working. Okay. So maybe it's a Firefox thing, because sometimes I have issues.
It's a Flash thing. If you go under the actual player, it says you can watch it on YouTube. There's a little link. And that should work.
You see that's what I clicked. That's what I clicked on, and it takes me to a page not found. But anyway, I mean, that's a technical issue that you could. I just thought I'd point out to you.
Oh, I see how that is working.
Yeah, well, I have you on the line. So let me go back again to the main page, and I'm on it right now. Okay, so these characters. I'm watching now just as a viewer, and I see that you have about 5 or so characters on. For me, just as a viewer, it's really hard for me to follow it because I don't know who to follow. I don't know who the main character is because they all just sort of got introduced together, and it's hard for you to. It's almost as if, okay, let me pick and choose who I like, as opposed to, okay, who is the main character? So who is the main character in this series? Who does the story follow? Does it just follow everyone at the same time?
No, it definitely follows Daniel. He's sort of the spine, and it's sort of his journey and sort of people who come in and out of his life.
So Daniel's the guy in the underwater sequence, right?
Yes. He's
okay,
the one
now I know. Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy who goes underwater. He's also has the dreams. It's sort of through his perspective.
Okay, so everything is seen through Daniel's perspective. And who is this? Who is Daniel, and what does Daniel want?
Daniel doesn't know what he wants, and that's the whole point. I think he's trying to find himself. And
okay. So the underwater sequence. I wanted to ask you about that, and that's why I asked you who was the cinematographer that shot that. Is that a practical shoot, or was it done in post-production with CGI?
Oh, no, that's all the underwater stuff is for real. There's one scene where he's drinking the beer, and then sand comes out. That was all underwater. We added a little bit of the beer rim in the back. I added beer rim in the background, but other than that, we shot underwater. We had a hard case and a soft case, and the cameras are so small, and light that you can just, swim around with them.
I like that you did that. I mean, that just added an element of production value to it. It looks like you put in a lot of work to get that shot done. And is there a meaning behind him, drinking, trying to open that beer bottle on the water? Is there some sort of meaning to that?
Yeah, there's a suffocation sort of idea, and the idea of sand as being sort of particles of time or like pieces and moments, and sort of just ingesting all of that at once.
Okay. So what stage are you at now with this show?
I'm pretty much right now. I've done 6 episodes, about 50 minutes in total, and I'm pretty much right now at the end point for now. It could, if I had more money, maybe it could go somewhere else. But I raised enough money through some, websites and grants and stuff to shoot about 6 episodes.
Yeah. So So you shot this show on Canon 70 full high def, and it looks pretty good. But what did you use for the audio?
Oh, for the audio, Sennheiser 416s, which we rented from Coffee Sound through a student package, so we got a really good deal. And we had also 2 lavs. I'm not exactly sure what the exact number or product number or whatever it was, but so we had a boom mic and then two lavs and a DAT recorder and a great for Gavin.
So you said that so right now you're on hiatus. Are you on hiatus because you've completed the first season, or you just on hiatus because you just need more funds to continue?
Yeah, I would say more funds to continue for sure, and just because sort of real life comes in and school's over, so I have to sort of get a functioning job as well as, work on my own sort of personal art. And I would consider Sands in Mexico sort of more of a personal thing than, say, trying to make any money or anything like that.
Yeah. So, well, I mean,
no, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Beyond. Huh?
I couldn't hear that last part. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I said you said it's more of a passion project for you, right?
Yes.
But
sure.
There has to be some sort of objective, though, because originally you wanted, you were going the television route. I mean, what is your ultimate objective with this show?
Well, my objective was to get a master's degree, which happened, and then it sort of just spun into this bigger thing, and it just became more of I wanted to do something personal that I could direct and feel good about in sort of an accomplishment as a director while I was sort of going into the real world and doing other people's projects or working on other people's projects. So it was just always, I want people to see it. I guess that's my main objective.
Yeah.
But getting a degree out of it was pretty good because I had to have a committee of teachers look at it and accept it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to graduate without a final mix and a final color correction. So everything was very specific towards wanting to graduate.
Yeah. So what do you make of just the overall web series space now? Just people being able to make content for primarily for the web and have and just really, have unlimited geographical reach. What do you think of the web series space?
Well, I think it's a wonderful platform for people who want to make their own work and that either don't have the funds to distribute it, or people who want to keep a sort of control over their own work. Because once it gets, sometimes once it gets bigger and bigger, you lose control over the final product, and you end up having to please multiple people. Whereas when you're doing your own projects, and you've raised your own budget, you can have a little more control over the product and how you want it to work out.
Yeah, I can already see the attention to detail that you put into this project. Being able to go to an exotic location like Mexico to shoot it. But another thing too that stuck out was the poster. The new poster that you have up. I like how you created that poster. You want to talk a little bit about that poster and put that together?
That was a graphic designer named Lila Burns, who's amazing. I gave her sort of the image that you see. He's underwater and his head's missing, and that's actually an image from a still from the film that just in between takes that I saw, where his head actually did sort of just disappear for some reason, and I paused that and I gave it to her, and she made this amazing illustration, and then we just worked from there. And she's a CalArts graphic designer. Everyone who worked on this series was from CalArts. The composer John Olmsted and everyone from all the actors, all the crew members, post production.
What do you think about shooting in Mexico?
It's fun. It's a little hot. The people are incredibly nice. The locations, are to die for, and the food's amazing. And what's great about Mexico is it was an opportunity for all of us to sort of be in a group together and away from other distractions. Nobody went home and to their own lives at the end of the day. We all stayed together and worked just for a week straight, you know. And there was just
Yeah.
sort of a way to create a product that's very sort of everyone helps out, you know.
Yeah, I'm on the gallery page on your website, looking at some of the pictures that you guys took. As far as the villa goes, though, you said you knew the person that owned that villa? That's a damn good villa. I mean, how were you able to put that together?
It's a rental property that my family owns. So it's a recent thing. So it's not like I didn't grow up with it, and I had only been to it like a couple of times, like twice before. But I felt like I could go there and have everybody sleep in the villa and also work in the villa. So it was the bedrooms were, you know, did double duty as set and also where people slept, you know.
So in all, including your crew, how many people were in your team?
You mean also post-production? Or just,
like include your entire team that you have to transport there. Like how many people total?
To get there, the first time we went, it was 9 people, including myself. The second time was 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we probably had about 4 post-production people that never went to Mexico.
So what is it like? What do you think of the Canon 7D?
I love it. I think it's a new revolution for people who want to have a digital SLR feel with the lens, you know, changes and the depth of focus, the low light. I mean, it's an amazing product, and you can see the difference between the first 2 episodes were shot on the HV30, which is an HDB product, and the Canon 7D was the last 4 episodes, and there's a huge change from the low light scenes at night to just everything. You know, it's small, so you can put it in different locations and angles that you might not have been able to put a big camera in, and it's an incredible camera that I just couldn't say enough about.
So, you know, a lot of people love shooting at, you know, beaches with the sand and the water, but at the same time, it's one of the most difficult locations to shoot at. And I've shot at beaches before, and I have to worry about sand getting in the camera and in the crevices and things like that. I mean, how was it for you? Yeah, how was it for you shooting in that environment?
I would have to say the 2 issues about shooting on a beach are, one, the waves, because the waves are very loud, especially that scene where they're fighting, because they're right in on the waves. And then also it is hot, so you have to make sure that the camera doesn't overheat, and you have to give the camera time to breathe a little bit and to shade it properly.
Now, how did you handle the audio with the waves? Did you fix it in post production or what?
I definitely had a great sound production guy, Rich Gavin, who did an amazing job to begin with, and then I had on the first 2 episodes Jerry Summers, who did sound mixing and designing, and then the last 4 episodes Ben Huff, who did, you know, they both did an amazing job of sort of smoothing everything out.
So back to Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Oh, the waves are consistent, which is something that actually helps. So even though it isn't a distracting noise, waves being consistent does help sort of mask the overall product.
Yeah. So back to the Canon 7D camera. Okay, so I know what you like about it. What don't you like about that camera? Because I'm actually exploring. You know, I'm in the market for a camera right now. So since you've already shot it, I just kind of want to know what is it about that camera that you don't like.
Well, definitely, you know, if you had a little more money, getting the Canon 5D is better because it has a bigger sensor, because it's not a full sensor. Also, let's see. I'm trying to think. You know, they just came out with some really good lenses, but before it was a little harder to necessarily get the best lenses for the product. And it is about $1,700 or so. But then when you add in all of the costs of the rigs and stuff like that, because you can't really necessarily just hold it, you kind of want to have a little bit of a rig on it.
Yeah.
So it's steady. It is so light, The camera is light, so you easily can show your movements. So I think that's one of the things. But other than that, for the price, it's really good. There's also a little lesser camera, the Rebel T2i. That's about half the cost. I would say it's definitely a cheaper camera in form and function, but for the price, it's also a great camera.
Okay. So so I'm still like, because the images on this thing is just so visual, and I'm just fascinated by just the level of the visual of the images. But again, so I look at the pictures, and it just seems like the series is about a group of friends, right? Just on a group of friends on a kind of like on a vacation. On a vacation. Okay, on vacation in Mexico.
Celebrating graduating.
Okay. So as far as your social media go, what are your social media efforts like? I mean, what are you doing to get this out? Are you looking at building an audience? Because not everyone is looking at building an audience. So are you looking at building an audience for this, or it's just something that you just want to say, hey, I've done it, but I did it?
I definitely want an audience. I think that the internet is very fickle. It's interesting how you get that spark that reaches, 100,000 hits or something. I had an 8-minute short film about 2 years ago that was online and got about 64,000 hits. So, and then other things that get 200. So you never know. But my goal is to just, talk to people who are interested in web series in general, because I think it's a great platform, and I have a lot to say about how to do it in a resourceful, fiscally resourceful way. But then also, also just trying to reach to friends and, people who might just be interested in, web dramas in general. But I don't know.
I went back to your home page now. I noticed you're on Twitter. I saw your Twitter feed, but I don't see a Facebook fan page. Do you have a Facebook fan page, or something that you're still looking at creating for the show?
I do have a Facebook fan page. Oh, and I also fixed that link.
You did? Cool.
It should work. Go to YouTube. My Facebook fan page, let's see. It's a group page. And I'll put that up by the.
Okay, cool. So it's still a group page. You don't have an actual fan page yet.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No,
I think that's important. I mean, people, because with a group, you're capped out at 5,000. You can't have more than 5,000 members in that group. Yeah. So it's just something to keep in mind. But with a fan page, it's unlimited fans. So
I started about 5 days ago. So I'm still. I think one thing that's interesting about web series is you don't have to have like the premiere, the day premiere, the weekend premiere a movie or something would have. It's the length of time it takes to grow a following is a little more organic, and takes a little longer.
So as far as your release strategy, because I know the entire 6 episodes is currently live now on YouTube, and you guys can access that through soundsofmexico.net. When you released this, did you release them all together, or did you space them out?
Yeah.
What was your rollout like?
It was definitely a conscious decision to do it all at once. I've had friends who had web series, some that did well, some that didn't, and I thought the main flaw in what they had done is even if it did well, it took them too long to put the next episode up, and then no one ended up seeing it. So I think, just putting it up, and I think the way that people view internet is they go on little binges. They go on YouTube and they think they're going to go for 10 minutes and it turns out to be 2 hours, and then they're done with it. So I think if people just hit the first episode and they like it, my hope is they just watch it all the way through and then they go about their day.
Yeah. I like that. I like that as well. The thing about it is I don't want to have to wait, especially if an episode is 3 to 5 minutes long. I hate having to wait a week to see a second 3 to 5 minute clip and then another week. Just put it all out, and then just let me make that decision if I want to watch it all or if I just want to watch one, So I always recommend just putting it all out there. I mean, 6 episodes is not a lot. You just put it all out there.
Yeah, I agree. I think the things that I watch are usually, I always watch it all the way through, and then I just go on with my day. But if it's just 5 minutes, my attention span will go, and I'll totally forget about it.
Now that we're on the topic of what you watch, what are some web series that you watch?
I don't really watch a lot of web series. I watch a lot of television, and I watch a lot of films. But I haven't. My idea about making a web series was I didn't want to be a typical web series. I know a lot of web series are done in a room or I wanted to get out of the box.
Yes.
So I wanted to make it more like a TV show than say like a stereotypical idea of what a web series is.
Yeah.
So, but I watched a couple web series, and I really liked. I think it was like Motherhood or something. The one with Chelsea Handler and Leah Remini. Can't remember. Usually they this is back in the day though. It's like in 2006 I think they launched that show. Yeah, like I said, I don't really watch web series. Maybe it's weird that I made one then, but I watch so much television because that's really what I would like to get into is television directing and working with television. So that's where I spend my free time.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the viewer and fan reaction to the show. What sort of feedback have you been getting?
Well, I just put it up about a couple days ago. So, but so basically, it's been more like family friend reaction.
Okay.
And I haven't really gotten an opportunity to have a lot of reactions. I think sometimes the internet can do that, where people see it, but you don't get to see the reactions. You end up looking more at statistics and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have to know that the show exists first before they can watch.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the hard part right now. I think that's the hard part.
It's just all about marketing. I know you bought a full page ad in the new web series list magazine that I'm launching in April. So that's always the first start to be able to.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that magazine.
Yeah.
It sounds like a wonderful idea.
So are we. We are looking forward to that. We are looking forward to that. And we've been successful so far in selling a lot of ad space on that thing. But you got the back inset, right?
Yes, I did.
You got the back inset. Okay.
I had to grab it up. Everything was going.
Yeah, no kidding. But that's a prime spot, and I'm honestly glad that it went to you. Just based on the quality of your poster. I mean, I'm happy that for other advertisers as well. But it's just good to just be able to close the magazine with a poster as nice as yours.
Yeah, I mean the quality of the poster is one of my favorite parts. There's another poster on my website on the front page, a little one that she also did as well from the same designer, Lila Burns. And I also the little flyer that I hung around my school, CalArts. That's another thing. Avenues, you said, how you trying to get this out there, and I think trying to get it out there to my own community of students is one way.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to before we go, I wanted to ask you about the music though that you used. I like an opening scene of the first episode, just the way that you used the music to sort of lead us into the show. How important is music, for you? Do you want to talk a little bit about the music choices that you use on the show?
Oh yeah, all of the music is originally created by Jonathan Olmsted, who he is really the backbone behind it all, because he just came in with such a beautiful sound, and he continued that throughout the whole series. And he's been a real joy to work with.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, it was really fun having you on the show. I mean, is there anything else you would like to, you'd like to tell our listeners and share with our listeners?
Well, I just want to, thank you for this opportunity. I really enjoy your website, and I think it's a great platform for people, if they want to, because not only was it fun to talk to you today and to sort of put my stuff out there on your site, but it's great to look at other people's stuff and have sort of a community where I can do that and learn more. Because like I said, like you were talking before, I don't really know much about web series, but listening to your earlier podcasts, I was able to watch the GameRev.com trailer and some like the Western X stuff, and just get a little more familiar with the community, because I'm just starting in it.
Yeah. And that's the whole reason why I created that website, just to be able to cater to people who are new and would like to learn some new information. So I'm excited to have you on, and become a part of that site.
It's hard to find web series because they are sort of scattered throughout the internet. So having one place is really great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, WebSeriesNetwork.com is a solution to that. Just being able to have like a one-stop shop to where you have content producers who are there. We have a discussion forum. We have a video section where they can upload their videos, and photo section where they can upload their stills, and just kind of have discussions and fellowship with each other. And it's just been very, very successful. So I hope that you can spread this to your other web series producing buddies.
Definitely. I know a lot of people who are just up and coming, so I will send them your way.
Awesome. So the name of the web series is Sands of Mexico. It is written, produced, directed. You didn't edit this, did you, Samantha? Did you edit this as well?
Yes, I did.
You edited?
I even sunk all the dialogue, so I did the
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So the name of the web series is called Sands of Mexico. It's on sandsofmexico.net, not .com, sandsofmexico.net. And it's written, produced, directed, edited by Samantha Hatch, and I think she even cooked and did the catering as well. That's the beauty of this.
I didn't want to kill them, so with my own.
That's the beauty of this industry that we're in. Everyone, you have to wear multiple hats in order to get something, to get projects off the ground. So Sam,
crew, so.
Yeah, and she casted them as well and flew them to Mexico. So Sam, welcome to. Sorry, I said welcome. I'm really excited to have gotten a chance to talk to you and learn more about the show, and I'm looking forward to putting you out there as far as like when the magazine comes out and talk to people about your show as well. So thank you so much for.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. All right, so I'll definitely be catching you online, and you've got my information now. And if you have anything else you'd like to share with me down the line, you can always email me, or you've got my phone number, so you can text or call me. Okay?
Yeah, and I'll be at that Saturday Women in Web Series.
Oh, awesome! That's cool. I know you you signed up for that. All right, so I'll see you on Saturday then. Get to meet you face to face.
Okay, great. It was wonderful talking to you.
All right, well, good luck with the show.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.